I guess we're starting in the middle of the opening song, but that's okay because this is a bank show. You see, it's where we pre-record and have lots of fun. That's you and me and my BFF from OAK, who's JRY. I'm gonna keep on rapping till I punch the sky. Fuck you, Sky, always lording over me. You're not my real dad. My real dad is a tree. That's right, I'm made from wood. That's my name, Brushwood. I don't know. Hey, guys, it's Brian. It's been a long day. Justin, how are you?
Freestyling, huh?
God damn it. That's what you get the bonus bucks for. Come on.
Oh, my God, dude. Yeah, we've had a great little day, busy day, a lot of really cool stuff in the works.
Busy 24 hours. We hadn't even started last night's show. And since then, you, of course, have done jury and politics. You made an announcement. We worked on a super secret project that we're really excited about that turned out to be more emotionally exhausting than we expected. But who is here to examine the zeitgeist?
Right. We're gonna go as long as it ends
you,
there.
Sky, you're not my real dad.
All right, yeah. And of course, our guide through the zeitgeist is going to be Bryce Neshcom Castillo, our producer. How you doing, buddy?
Who,
Hey,
by the way,
everybody.
his father may be this guy because I've met your dad. He's great.
He is.
He's a fantastic gentleman.
If anybody
But you wanted
had
to punch
occupy
him. Did you punch him? Because the whole thing has been punching the sky.
Sorry, that was a character I was playing.
Oh,
it was
okay.
a different time.
Yeah.
It was 5 minutes
My
ago.
dad could take you.
Look, it was
My
the
dad
end
could take
thing.
you, Brushwood.
It was the 90s.
Hey,
Everyone
I'm
was
part
punching
Sky.
Bryce's
I've
dad.
never mentioned this.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
For the uninitiated, this is the moment that you and I get to feel old. We get to figure out how many of the top 10 things this year happened that we don't even know about.
Well, I was joking with Bryce that this began we've been doing this for a long time, over a decade, and the reason that initially it was the spry young buck running circles around the rapidly aging Brian Brushwood.
The narrative used to be,
Yeah.
Brian, you're old. Let me prove it because I know all the things.
Yeah, exactly.
As a matter of fact, was it 5 years ago that Boodle Deedle Doo happened? I don't think we.
I think it might be a decade ago.
No.
It literally couldn't be a decade ago.
Well, I don't know.
Doodle-dee-doo?
So if you
Adele's
could,
Hello from the other side?
see if you can
When
find
was
it.
that?
Rolling in the Deep, right? The Adele
That's right.
song. I had not heard of Adele, and Justin did his best to, try to get me to half remember the song that I almost certainly had heard on the top 40 radio, because that was the thing we were still doing 5 years ago, I guess. But then
2010. Oh, wow.
It was.
Rolling in
Holy
the Deep from
cow.
Adele on a 21.
No, because I was in Florida. I was in my old house.
Boodle Deedle Doo. If you search BOODLEDE.
So it was 9 years ago, because it was probably as part of the
D-O.
2011, moving into 2011 zeitgeist.
I don't press this button too often for fear of boring everyone, but I think it's worth a revisit. Like Justin kind of sketched out the song, and I just never recognized it. And then somebody took your Boodle Deedle Doos and made it into a song based on a karaoke track. Holy cow.
Burning in my heart. Do do diddle dee dee. Boodle doodle doo. Beep beep dee doodle. Boodle deedle da. Do do diddle dee dee. Doodle deedle doo. Doodle deedle doo.
Played this for my daughter, by the way.
Oh, did you? My favorite part about this was that somebody sent this to Scott Johnson. And
He
Scott
did not
Johnson
know it
didn't
was
know
you.
it was me,
That's
but
amazing.
loved it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gotta get to the chorus, though. Come on. Here we go. Oh. What? What? Punch the sky. Not my real dad. I'm made of wood. It's in my name, Brushwood. What? Oh, shit. Boodle deedle doo. Boodle deedle doo. Beat that deedle. Beat that deedle. My favorite part is
All right, shut up, mate.
2 years ago, we were doing South by So Wasted.
Yeah.
Had a lot of our fans happen to be hanging out at a bar. There happened to be a cover band. By cover band, I mean one guy with a Casio keyboard happened to go through all of the top hits. And at some point he started playing, and then every fucking eye in the place scanned and locked with each other. And then as it got close to the chorus, everybody what must it have been like for that dude when everybody
in
60
the bar.
people in a bar suddenly start in
this would've
unison singing boodle deedle doo. Ooh.
Also, probably years after Rolling in the Deep was like a
Was
big
a thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so we've got the Google Year in Search, part of Google Trends here. We do the U.S. trends. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know why? You know what U.S. stands for?
Us,
Thank you.
baby.
Yeah. Thank you, Jordan Peele, for that fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Also, for the primetime television drama, This Is Us, the story of the United States.
That's it. It's about founding fathers.
All right, well, so let's get started with number 10 here.
Let's go.
I think Justin, I think you're gonna know this one. Brian, I'd like you to tell me trend number 10 here. Jussie Smollett. You remember Jussie Smollett?
Goddamn right I do.
What happened with famous French actor?
No. Oh, you know what? What's funny is you tried to lead me astray, and that's what led me back to the truth. This is a dude who put on a MAGA hat, beat himself up, and then took off the MAGA hat and said, "Some MAGA hat people beat me up."
Technically, you have the incident. It's close. He said that while walking around in a very, very, very cold Chicago night on the way to go get a sandwich at Subway, that he was beaten up by two...
Jared.
Yeah. He's like,
Who thought he
"I'm
was
back,
young.
motherfucker."
You say, you're like, what are you, 12? No, I'm 35. You look 11 to me. Ba, 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 ba.
Well, no, the...
Wait, hold on. Wait, where's the groan in that? He's definitely the villain. The joke is definitely that he shouldn't be beat. All right, never mind. It's
so
fine.
he was, according to his story,
Yeah.
he was called out by
Jared.
the two double G slurs because he is indeed a gay black man. So
got it.
he got both double G's.
Got both hard G's.
Both hard, G's, hard R's. Hard T, hard R.
The spelling bee word. Holy cow! Do you remember that sketch? There was a sketch on YouTube
that is Wicked Wicked Hammercats. That's Donald Glover.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow. Now I want to revisit it on a show that isn't the show.
Sure.
I will go revisit that.
So he says that he was beaten up by two white men who then poured bleach on him and
they were
put
trying
a
to help.
rope around his neck.
Ooh, that part I can't justify.
And so he called the cops, and the cops smelled maybe some fishy business going on.
Bleach.
Eventually, it was found out that it was two of his friends who are Nigerian
who were extras on Empire, the show that he's on Fox.
They were extras on Empire. They had workout photos with him.
Mm-hmm. They supposedly he paid them by check.
Yes,
is my understanding.
They paid him by check. And yet, the Chicago prosecutor found that he was telling the truth and just kind of let him go.
Kind of a shameful story.
A little bit of a shameful chapter because he was very obviously lying. And I hesitate to even mention this and not mention the Dave Chappelle bit on it because it is words that I could never say on the internet. But if you have not seen him commenting on it on his Sticks and Stones special, it is worth seeing.
So, real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, it is known, Khaleesi, that all of this was a fraudulent attempt to manufacture a news story.
You know that. I know that. Bryce knows that. Probably everybody listening knows
accepted.
it. According to the Chicago prosecutor, no. He definitely was attacked by these two Nigerian guys who I guess were friends, but then weren't friends, and then were really into Donald Trump and were pouring bleach on him and throwing rope around his neck.
Actually, that's the story of friends having a falling out and two friends trying to kick the third one out.
Well, actually, I don't even know if his official story ever even involved the friends. The friends wound up narking on him.
Got it. His official story was two white dudes.
Two white guys. Yeah.
Was the manga hat part of it? I thought
Yes.
that was part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That
the
was
original
part of the
story.
Well, no.
I think.
No.
Oh, no, they were saying MAGA.
This is MAGA country.
This is MAGA country, is what
They called him the double G's.
Yeah.
Double G.
Are you that double G from Empire was the line.
Yes.
And then this is MAGA country, beating on them, pouring bleach on them, which is just something that white guys in Chicago just carry on
carry
in like sub-zero temperatures.
So here's
Also, yeah, because this was in January, February, so
Yeah,
it was
it's
also
just like
crazy cold.
It's like, hey man, you want to go to the bar? Sure. Hey, do me a favor, grab that bleach. You never know when we're gonna have to cause a hate crime.
but okay. He specifically said that they were white people that beat him up.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
But then he
because
later
what's
said,
weird,
they're black. Oops, I didn't realize they were wearing masks.
okay,
Yeah.
I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I like.
There we go.
I was willing to entertain any number of scenarios.
Oh no, this is like
Question.
this is bad. This one was bad. and he
Almost
didn't
a
go
year
down for it.
later, is he still working? Is he still doing?
They wrote his character off of Empire. They rushed to get him out of the last few episodes that were going to air that season, and I
Yeah.
believe Empire is off the air.
Well, yeah, they shot one more season after that.
Yep.
The cast
Without
stood
him.
up for him and said, "Hey, look, he wasn't charged with anything. He should come back on the show." And so he was not brought back on the show, and now Empire's done.
That's so wild because like I'm a fan of bizarre performance art for its own sake. And I'm also a fan of sparking conversations by doing something out of the ordinary. And yet I'm not a fan of anything I heard about this.
Well, probably because it's repulsive. It is a repulsive thing that cheapens actual hate crimes.
yes.
It
Right.
cheapens
Yes.
actual
That-
yes.
victims.
And that's very tough because the idea of like, well, we should believe victims when they say
Oh,
stuff happens to them.
and that is the.
And it's a very
thank you very much
high-profile
for identifying the true cost of
Yes.
this. The true cost is
Right.
that it undercuts every legitimate
because
victim.
by the way,
yeah.
when this first happened, it was a gigantic outcry from the internet that
Yeah.
like this was a disgusting thing. We need to protect Jussie at all costs.
By the way, everybody under the age of 30, get ready to tell your grandkids, I remember when a deep fake involved a real punching. Like,
well, the other question is,
Well-
we don't really even know exactly how much real punching there was.
I mean, his
Like,
face was messed up, I assume.
Can you pull up?
Oh,
Can you pull up?
doggone.
I don't- yeah, I don't know
He
the
just looks great.
He just has like a little scratch on it.
This is like, I guess our generation's version of this was Morton Downey Jr. said he got beat up and by white supremacists, and he had a swastika on his forehead.
Yeah.
Only it was drawn backwards.
Yeah.
Which is probably not something white supremacists would
So
do.
that was
A couple of very mild cuts and bruises.
a little abrasion.
Love that. All right, let's go to number 9 here.
Yeah.
How about that?
Way less depressing. Whatever 9 is, it's going to be less depressing than number 10. 100%
Yeah.
positive. Take it away.
Abu Ghraib. Wow, what a comeback.
What's funny is I thought you were actually singing an R. Kelly song in the Abu Ghraib, I can fly. And I was just like, shit, that was a double threat. I can't believe that.
The Geneva Convention is telling me no. But my body, oh, my body.
Abu Ghraib in his fly.
All right.
We made them prisoners point to the sky every night and every day.
War crimes ain't nothing but a piece of paper.
All right, number 9 here in the U.S. Google Trends. You're in search. It's the iPhone 11.
Less depressing. Less depressing than
depressing.
Jussie Smollett.
So you both have an iPhone 11 now?
I think we do, yeah.
Yeah.
The 3-camera one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
iPhone reviews, quick.
Battery life is forever.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. I don't
Cameras?
know. I've
You like
used
the new
the
cameras?
cameras a little bit. I mean,
The camera's the first time that I can remember, like, because they've been bumping up the specs on the cameras forever, right? And that's been a reason why people like to get it. This is the first time that I've actually used things that were new. I've used the telephoto lens a lot. I've used the wide angle lens a lot.
do you miss the Force Touch?
I mean, Force Touch is still there, right?
Nope.
No, it's gone. Which is why.
So
why
I'm going to take that as a no. No, you don't miss it because you didn't even know it was gone.
Wait, no, I thought it was still there.
No, it's all replaced with long press.
Yeah. So you hold your thumb on the keyboard for a little bit instead of force touching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not the hard. It's not the hardness of
Yeah,
it.
Right.
it's not the
It's
thrust.
yeah.
The thrust doesn't matter. It's your duration that it wants.
Take that one. That,
I will say,
I didn't notice. I thought it was the exact same thing. In fact, I'd probably say that I've wound up triggering it less without Force Touch, with it just being long touch. So I am happy that they made that.
it's been a minute since I bothered to watch the entire here's the new thing that we got presentation from Apple.
Yeah.
Bad year for it.
It was awful.
Bad year for
It
it.
was unbelievably awful.
Because it was still 2.5 hours, and it was a lot of
yes,
about the camera.
They introduced a clock that can almost work for 18 hours.
This is your bugaboo.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's just it's not even about the phone. That's about the watch.
Okay, no, let's talk to the phone. You'll never believe these, Justin. A better camera, faster whatevers, battery life that lasts longer. Nobody saw it coming.
Yeah.
It was legitimately the shittiest Apple
They're
reveal.
just not what they used to be. I mean, because
no, they're
number one,
really not.
all the phones are really good. Like, really good phones come out 4 or 5 times a year from all the different places that you would want to buy phones. The Apple versus Android kind of like whatever even like rivalry or fight isn't even as much of a thing anymore because people fairly seamlessly go between the two because most of everything that you use is online. Most of the apps are cross-platform, so you're fairly seamlessly able to get everything that you wanted from one to the other. And now it's like, I don't know. It was really cool when they were new and they were all doing things that like the other ones didn't do at all. Now, far more often, be it on Apple or Samsung or whatever, the new things that are happening are either half-baked, garbage, or you'll just not see it in another version because nobody liked it.
It's weird to think that they are saturated on features, right? Like they can only boast, a small bezel and X amount of cameras for so long.
The astonishing thing, and I think we've talked about this in other various iterations of the show, but it is astonishing to me that they had first place with the digital assistant in Siri. They had unmitigated market dominance. She told jokes, she talked to you and all that. And then they slipped. Number one, it's amazing that you could even through sheer incompetence, slip to number 2 and let Alexa overtake you.
Yeah.
But now Google Assistant is funnier and better and more natural language. It's astonishing. Google
was
Siri is.
Google was always going to have the inside track because quite frankly, they have YouTube. They are able to run so many. It is just a constant uploading of various different voice samples that they are scanning for various different, disability stuff or whatever. It was the Amazon thing that was shocking because Amazon, previous to the Echo, wasn't great at making hardware.
Right.
Like, they had the Fire Sticks, which were effectively, they were cheap.
They were slightly shittier than a Roku.
But they also had the phone.
And the phone, which was a disaster.
A total unmitigated.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And so this was something where it's like, oh God, like it slipped in there just before everybody got paranoid about like, oh, what is this tracking stuff? So it was like, oh, it's just now I get to be the enterprise, the bridge of the enterprise. They were really good with it. And also it helps that they were able to integrate so seamlessly into shopping because that's just another thing that you like to just say, oh, just order this thing.
To put into perspective just how far behind Siri is behind the Amazon Echo, I've noticed like 4 or 5 times now, I've asked the A word, the Echo, to play a song by the wrong name. Like I'm giving the chorus or the lyric or whatever, and then she will, without being judgy, she'll say, now playing blank by Flight of the Conchords or whatever with the corrected name. And I'm like, I didn't even ask. I asked for the wrong name, the wrong thing, the wrong everything. She knew exactly what I was talking about. Took care of me.
You haven't seen the most recent Rick and Morty, right?
Oh, no, but I will.
there's-
Okay,
I
all
just-
right.
yeah,
We'll watch it
Oh,
tonight.
it's a very good Siri joke in the
there's a
middle
great
of that.
Siri joke where just Jerry is like, set a timer for whatever time. And Siri goes, now playing music by the Beatles.
All right, what else we got?
All right, we've got the U.S. year in search trend number 8. You know it, you love it. It's Game of Thrones.
Wow, did the worm turn on Game of Thrones quick? Because it was also the #1 fastest growing Reddit community was r/freefolk, which is to this day still crackling with just bile and vitriol over the most recent and final season of Game of Thrones.
And that subreddit was one of like 12 that they made for the finale of like, here are all the Reddit communities for the different houses.
No. Free folk had
Oh,
been
did it
going
already?
for a
Had
been
while.
around for a while, yeah.
Well,
because
but
the-
they
the-
made so anyway. I'm saying like there are a dozen different ones for the different houses.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh no, it was who was going to win the throne, and so you had like Arya wins the throne, Bran wins the throne, blah blah blah. But Free Folk was there because apparently there were some bitchy mods at the r/Game of Thrones that were like, no discussion of all this other stuff, like only pictures of cosplay and art. And so they started r/Free Folk, and at that point, when the show started, when season 8 turned into something that they were not a fan of, it got deeply personal. It is like now basically like this hate thread for Benioff and Weiss, the showrunners, and it is like now it's effectively just because the only new news that comes out is new news about Benioff and Weiss, and so it's like either just
Here's what they're up to
poking
now, boys.
yeah, and it's like, oh, like let's ruin their deal, let's ruin their Netflix deal, let's ruin their Star Wars deal.
But Game of Thrones is a different animal because, like, we've been disappointed by endings of things before. Lost, take it or leave it. You either thought it earned enough credit to drift across the landing with the way they handled it. And the biggest ding on Lost was that they definitely made a promise and then they definitely broke that promise. Whatever.
Yeah, and also I think fundamentally, people who really, really, really loved it wanted it to be a science fiction show.
Right.
And then you realize by the end of it, it's like, no, it's a fantasy show.
Right.
We're going to have fantasy solutions, and ultimately this is going to be about literally the friends we made along the way.
Right. Battlestar Galactica went a little sideways by the end. They at least stuck to... the problem was is their tagline was, they have a plan, and they definitely did not. And then they did a podcast where they, week after week, kept releasing these... I couldn't believe they were releasing the writer's room meetings, where for 2 hours, very clearly, they did not have a plan.
Yeah.
Like, you would hear people casually say, like, all right, so we're doing like the Bush fake voting thing, and then the stem cells are the Cylon cells, whatever we're calling them. Like it was unreal. But Game of Thrones is a little bit wild because they worked from the source material for so long, and then they flipped a switch, and then they went to just bullet points, and you could tell that moment that they went from bullet points. Spoiler alert, they're the bullet points that the novels are going to work off of.
I mean, that's the thing, is like, for a lot of that Free Folk chatter is all about like, oh my God, I can't believe Arya killed the Night King. Spoilers for Game of Thrones. Sorry about that. I can't believe that Bran won the throne.
I can't believe that in one episode we flipped a switch and now Daenerys is Hitler.
Yeah. I think all of those things, should these novels ever be written, they're gonna be what happens. In fact, if it changes, it will change because George R.R. Martin is scared of the reaction. Now, they will be far more planned out. Obviously, the books work with a different set of characters that have different kinds of motivations. There were combined characters in the television show. There are characters that are killed.
Well, and I guess what is fascinating to me is that we have kind of a natural experiment, as economists would put it, where we know what a book translated into a high quality television show looks like, and then we could see the moment that we flip to bullet points, and all that we have is the writing of television show writers, where they see a bullet point that says Jamie fights that cousin from the I forget, Euron, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a great
whatever.
story. Yeah.
So it's like television writer brain says they meet each other on the beach and fight. Whereas it's like
especially
no.
because so much of writing that show has been cutting down the original books.
Right.
And so you go into it with a theory of like, we can just jump to where we need to be. And that was what made the last season, or the last 2 half seasons, whatever, really weird, because they were just jumping back and forth and you lost a sense of time and place.
Well, and
partially.
Also, the real frustrating part of it is that it's a show called Game of Thrones. Now, granted, the source material is A Song of Ice and Fire, but even then, you are talking about culmination points. They are very, even by the title, It is about all of this thing that we've seen is all elaborate, amazing table setting, even the thrilling moments where the story changes for one conflict, right? Either in the books, Song of Ice and Fire, Daenerys and Jon Snow. This is their meeting. Will they be enemies? Will they be lovers? Will the world allow them to be either or force them to be the other? And in Game of Thrones, who wins the throne? That's literally the point of the show. And for it to be so ham-fisted by the end and so rushed and so cliff-noted, that I think was the big
but also to be
frustration.
so small, like, and I understand you run out of time or whatever, but it's like that whole last episode was 8 of the principal actors in a closed set with literal Avion bottles visible to their side.
Yeah.
Like I would have loved for that to feel bigger, take me to the tavern in Westeros, or take me to the take me to the East Islands, whatever. Take me to Lannister country and let me know what they're saying or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me feel like this is a big thing that the whole world is waiting for.
And I guess that's the other problem, is that it was just too short. Like, both the final seasons were truncated, and I understand that as much as everybody likes to hate on Benioff and Weiss, like.
Dude,
I think
they
hard.
earned it. They earned it. They did the impossible, and they earned enough credit in my heart to let them drift across the finish line, and drift they did.
Now, that being said, I think that really they fell into a, like, are they good question when that whole Confederate show was teased.
Oh, right.
Remember that one? Oh. This was going to be their follow-up on HBO to Game of Thrones, and it was going to be a modern-day story where slavery is still a thing.
Oh,
the
that's
Confederate
right.
wins.
Like the Confederates
Confederacy.
won, and they still have.
And they were talking about, like, drones hunting slaves and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, did that seem like a bad idea? Thankfully, it seems like it's been shelved. But
Yeah, because they got that Netflix.
Star Wars and then Netflix. Now they've lost the Star Wars thing. Who knows what they're going to do for
Quote,
Netflix?
because of Netflix. Because of the Netflix deal. Is what they say. Is what they say.
I mean, look, I'm not going to deny, like, they have genuine chops, they have genuine talent, but it is a tough thing in Hollywood to know how to swing from one vine to the next one. What's the right vine to grab onto?
Yeah, especially because I think that their greatest talent was running such a big production.
Yeah, and keeping so many plates spinning and making it all work, figuring out what to collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking
And
of
it turns out they collapsed the entire fandom.
speaking of keeping so many plates spinning, what do you think number 7 might be? Speaking of so many plates.
Lucky
Abu
Charms.
It's almost. It's Avengers Endgame, number 7. Avengers.
Now, talk about sticking the landing. That was awesome.
Dude, I got nothing bad to say about that. Endgame.
I actually watched it on the flight out, the first like 30 minutes on the flight here from Albuquerque, and man, that movie just rules.
They
It's
spent
so good.
They spent
Especially given I don't love a lot of the superhero movies, but that one is a spectacle. It is a big action movie.
It's so funny because, like, the parts I love about it aren't the spectacle at all. What I loved is the balls of them to spend 30 minutes just meditating on 9/11 and to try to convey to anyone under the age of 25 what 9/11 was like for the grown-ups and how Pyrrhic and empty the victory was when we killed the mastermind of 9/11. I mean, it was like,
well, and then
so ballsy.
and then
to
after
break that person.
Well, no, after that happens, then to introduce a fairly silly concept like time travel to like
super
to reverse,
wacky.
Yeah, to reverse it. Which, I mean, if they're the criticism that I think is fairest of Endgame is that if it's guilty of anything, it's guilty of being a little too self-referential. Like it is very much a victory lap for them, down to the fact that like they're revisiting their greatest hits. Like they're having our modern characters go and see their handiwork from gigantic mega hits past.
Yeah.
Which like,
still okay with it?
Oh no. And that to me is that is the fairest criticism. But at the same time, if you've already invested over a decade and a half in watching these movies, if you are there for the second half of an ending chapter, then yeah, I was into it. I loved every minute of it.
100% same page. to me, the artistically most ballsy thing was the idea that we would spend 30 minutes just meditating on 9/11. But within the fan culture side of things, the coolest moment for me was when in the timelines, Thor gets to meet his mom, who's alive again, and he gets to the validation of getting Mjolnir back or whatever, still worthy. But I loved that a million times we've seen, quote unquote, our movie where a dark, broken version of future guy who's the protagonist comes back into the past to say, don't make my mistakes. Blah. I can't think of any other movie where our guy is the one going back in the past and his mom instantly gets it. And we're like, oh, I get it. You're from a dark, broken future or whatever. It's like, whatever you're about to say, don't say it. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't
also,
know.
oh, you kind of stole Mjolnir. All right. Well,
We'll
whoopsie-doodle.
find another one.
I don't know if The Last Jedi is on this list, but the one thing that I watched Endgame because I was like, I've had this this like comparison in my head of Rise of Skywalker versus Endgame and the hype going into it. And the big thing that I've noticed with like Rise of Skywalker is I like the previous two movies fine, but when I watch the trailer, I'm like, oh, cool. This seems like a blender of Star Wars ideas. Here's a bunch of lightsabers. We're jumping around. There's the Emperor is back, I guess. They're fighting on a ship. Okay, cool.
What if good people are bad? What if bad people are good?
Yeah, Star
Anything's
Wars.
possible. Yeah.
Bada beep, bop, boop, Star Wars.
What if Lando was fat?
Whereas Endgame, that trailer and the beginning of that movie, it starts out with Tony Stark reading his like death note to Pepper Potts, and so many things that are invested, that you've invested in these characters kind of come flooding back. The fact that this movie started with Tony Stark in a cave, right? Or the story started with him in impossible odds. Now he's facing impossible odds
Hooked up
again.
to a car battery.
But now he's so much more wizened that this, Pepper Potts is the love of his life.
Sure.
Is he going to die, like on a meta level?
He made a $2 trillion investing in goop.
Sure, exactly. So my favorite part about The Last Jedi, or one of my favorite parts, the coolest idea from Last Jedi to me, and I know it's maligned by some, but it's the moment where Rose tells Finn, we're not going to win killing the people we love. It's going to be killing the people we hate. It's going to be saving the people we love.
Right. And that moment, of course, is when Finn is trying to commit suicide in order to
save
take out
everybody,
just a few other Imperial troopers.
And then I realized watching Endgame that it's like, talk about show, don't tell.
Yep.
That was the thing told to us in Last Jedi that I really liked. But I was watching Endgame and I'm like, oh my God, this is the movie. It's literally the person that kills Thanos, that they chop off the head of the guy that they've spent the entire movie fighting last time. And then the rest of the movie is saving the people that they love.
And of course, the exact person who who achieves the goal of killing the bad guy derives no joy from it, is broken,
right,
is yelling at teenagers, and has to hang around with the New Zealand.
Someone's got to yell at teenagers.
Somebody, Noob Master, which it's so funny because I just wish there's another version of that movie where some of the things that are actually yelled in TeamSpeak are repeated by what's his butt, Taika Waititi.
Oh yeah,
which that's all I can think of. In fact, it might have been the kind of things that those Nigerians were yelling at Jussie Smollett.
jeez. All right. What else we got?
All right, let's get to number 6 here. A little bit of a somber one here. Google your in search trend number 6. Luke Perry.
Oh my God! Did he just die this past year?
Did, yeah.
In March, I believe. He had a stroke.
Luke Perry, one of the funniest lines in all of The Simpsons history.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
No.
He it was a throwaway bit that stuck with me for years and years. They comedically, like, I don't know, he's on like a seesaw that gets, catapulted, and he flies through like a glass factory and a glue factory and a rat factory or whatever. But like during one of them, he goes through, and I just remember him saying, "My face, my valuable face," and I think it must have been like a month or two after I saw that. This would have been early 90s. I was rollerblading past midnight, and I past midnight because I was a grown up in
yeah,
college.
exactly.
And I hit whatever it was I hit, and then I laid it down and I smacked my chin, and I unironically thought, my face, my valuable face. Like I had just started to do magic, and I knew that it's bad form to fuck up your face.
Yes.
And in fact, there's still that's part of. I think that's part of why I wear a beard or have scruff.
I have a thing too.
Yeah, I got a big. We'll compare
from
those
being a
scars
kid.
there at some point. Yeah.
By the way, his son is in show business now.
No, but real quick side jag. Luke Perry was in the movie 8 Seconds, right?
Believe so. Yeah.
I don't care for country stuff. I don't care for rodeos. I don't
Yep.
care for country music. I didn't care for Luke Perry.
Take that country music and rodeos and all the other things.
Take them all
But
out.
I loved having friends who own or who managed movie theaters who would let me see movies before they came out.
Yep.
And 8 Seconds was one of those movies that I watched. It's a decent flick. I have fond memories of that. It's based on a true story of a dude who rode bulls and cheated on his wife, and then let that
Also for 8
projected that projected guilt allow him to projected it onto her, and it damaged the relationship or whatever. Anyway, he dies.
Do you know what hit movie Luke Perry was in released this year?
Wait, was he in Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Not released this year, but
Not
don't
necessarily
know.
a hit movie
Yeah.
either.
It led to quite a bit. I think he was the star of.
I think he might have, yes.
Yeah. But no, I'm sorry. This year,
Yeah, this year.
Boyhood 2, the boyhoodening.
No, it was not
Manhood.
Boyhood
Oh,
2.
okay.
It was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Wait, he was in that?
Yep.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
He was on the set of the Western that Leo is doing.
How about that?
Wow.
Wild.
His son, now currently a professional wrestler on the new AEW show, which is on TNT. He's like a huge part of it.
Dude, that's awesome.
Wow.
And he looks, he's kind of short. He's got like little like frizzy blonde hair. He plays a character called Jungle Boy, but holy crap, as he gets older and, becomes more of a man, god damn does he look almost exactly like Luke Perry. Looks exactly
Just
like his dad.
hulked out Luke Perry.
But yeah, so this was a famous thing. He used to be, Jack, his son, was an indie wrestler in California mainly. And so
Yeah.
he would work a lot in the Bay Area. We'd work a lot in LA.
Holy shit.
But
Maybe not hulked out. Maybe Spider-Man out.
Spider-Man out, yeah. But his Luke Perry would just go to these indie shows and just sort of like hang out in the corner and didn't want anybody to know that he was
That's
there. But he
awesome.
would just, there was a
It was like a
non-zero
reverse
chance that
Jack
you would,
Nicholson.
Yeah, that you would accidentally bump into Luke Perry like leaving the bathroom at some random gym for an independent wrestling show.
Dude, that's awesome. Man, R.I.P. Luke.
Rest in
R.I.P.
peace, Luke. All right. Let's go to number 5 here in the Google urine search. We are talking about Antonio Brown.
Well, first of all, both Justin and I know this one.
I do know this one.
Okay, I fold.
You want to know what's funny?
Is it
We've
a spo-
actually talked about this
With
Ice
and-
Cream Social.
Real? Whoa.
No,
Ooh.
Man, I love it when people tell me the story of my life. What did we do?
So Antonio
First of all,
Brown,
how great did we look when we walked into Ice Cream Social?
we looked pretty good. That was the one of the Tiger Snake episodes. One of those 2 that we did at
Yeah.
DEF CON. I don't think it was Milk Leg.
God, that was
I think
that
it was
a
the one
great
before
time.
Milk Leg. But
I love that there's a rift about Milk Leg because everybody who's anti Milk Leg is wrong.
if any of y'all who are listening to this right now have not listened to our episode with the Ice Cream Social called Milk, no, it's called Bonnie's Ball Hospice.
Yes.
Look up the episode
Yes.
Bonnie's Ball Hospice.
Oh God.
But it involves one of the most like bizarre moments where like all of our powers combined in this extended riff.
At any given moment, I think that's something we have in common with our cousins over at Ice Cream Social.
All
is
5
that-
of our powers
is,
combined.
is that we all have conflicting urges to keep the show on the track
Yeah.
and also to chase wild hares.
Yeah.
Every so often, there's a weird mutiny that everybody decides that more than half of the people have decided that they're going to go chase something shiny. And that was one of those moments. God, it was so great.
Well,
I loved
that
it.
was the thing is that, when we've talked with the Ice Cream Social guys a lot, but, they have Paul and Matt, and the goal is always to get Paul, who is this, comedic savant, going, but also that means stamping out him just wanting to talk for 40 minutes about toys.
Right.
So it's like you have to cut him off at certain points. But when we were there, we were literally just aligned fully with like, no nonsense. We're hijacking this entire episode. We were just making nonsense
it
noises.
was like it's like Paul goes full on comedy Gollum God, and then we touch our fingers together and I say form of another Paul.
Yeah.
And then you say form of another Paul. Yeah. and then
we all combine into Big Station.
Wow, what a deep cut. My favorite part of all of that was apologizing profusely to Jacob, and Jacob listening and nodding because Jacob kind of tried to keep us wrangled.
Yeah.
And then Jacob was like, I had a good 5 in the chamber.
Yeah.
I resisted.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are bad.
Yeah, he is good, and that is true. Antonio Brown, any guesses?
Yeah, I know it's a sports thing.
It is.
I don't want to try to remind
Very colorful year for Antonio Brown.
Yes.
He forces a trade to a new team in Oakland.
Yes.
He then arrives at training camp in a hot air balloon. He then...
All the Zeppelins were booked.
All the Zeppelins were booked, so he just comes in on the hot air balloon into training camp. He then does a cryo freeze thing, but refuses to put on the booties. So
that's right. And he froze off his foot or something.
So he freezes his feet to the point where there are like gnarly ass blisters. Then gets into a fight with the Raiders. This is all in the span of like maybe 3 weeks, by the way. Gets into a fight with management with the Raiders. Gets released by the Raiders, in part because he releases a hype Instagram video which is like all the rage with athletes. They'll just cut together like scenes of them working out and being in the, playing a game and everything. But during he surreptitiously recorded his coach calling him to ask him whether or not he really wanted to be on the team. And without the coach's permission, puts it in his hype Instagram video.
Well...
was the answer no? Or
the libertarian in me is like, what state was this in?
California. There were like questions on whether or not, but the coach didn't want to
the
press
one-party
charges.
law. Yeah,
the coach didn't want to press charges or anything. Thought it was funny. He gets released from the Raiders, goes to the best team in the league, the New England Patriots, seemingly making them like a gigantic juggernaut. And then gets released from that team within a week.
Flies away in a hot air balloon.
He might have gets released because he had some. This is where it gets ugly. He had some sexual assault stuff kind of pop up. Some of which is very ugly. Some of which is very funny, including the fact that a team doctor was trying to take some measurements from him, and he just thought it was the funniest thing to fart in his face.
Yeah, that's funny.
The other stuff I won't repeat. Not as funny.
no, fart in the face.
But a fart in the face, pretty funny. He then made things even worse for himself. But yeah, that is the saga of Antonio Brown.
Okay, right on.
Okay.
There is one of my favorite people on the planet, and I'm pretty sure that in an alternate reality, we never became as close as we became because I refused to. I was teaching him how to escape from a straitjacket.
Yeah.
And there came this moment that I realized I had one loaded in the chamber, and his parents were in the room. 3 other people were in the room. And I realized it'd be really funny as he's working on the crotch strap for me to just bust ass.
Yeah.
And I took that leap of faith, and I've never looked back. One of my best friendships in the world.
Because you farted right in his face.
I did. It was really great.
Was it silent but deadly or very
No.
audible?
It was loud and violent. It was great.
You're a real cheek flapper.
Oh no, it was awesome.
Tore a hole in the straitjacket.
I mean,
we had to patch
it was
up.
practically musical. It was like it was the Inception
How
sound
harmonic.
came out of my butt.
Oh,
Got one of them Hans Zimmer ass rippers.
all right, here's a Google urine search trend number 4. It's Hurricane Dorian.
Oh
Hurricane
my
Dorian.
God. How ashamed are you that you can't even tell me what state Hurricane Dorian landed on?
I couldn't tell
I
you.
can't believe you can't.
I don't think it did. I think it missed it. Like it brushed the coast of the Carolinas, but it was going to. I know about it because it was going to slam.
You're saying the number 4 most searched thing on the internet didn't even.
Is a near miss.
It was no. It was.
You're
like
saying that our country, America, could possibly be obsessed, constantly searching for a thing that didn't even turn out to be a problem?
So, well, I mean, it devastated the Bahamas, so there is that. But it was a Cat 5, which rarely happens, and it was set to slam right into South Florida, which is the only reason why I know it, because obviously I still have friends and family there. But it luckily turned northward, and so by the time that it wound up brushing up against America, it was less than a 5.
I know that I felt a huge amount of relief when I realized that you were not going to challenge me to name what state Hurricane Dorian hit. I remember where I was when I felt that relief, and that's here right now.
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's go to the trend number 3. It's Nipsey Hussle.
Go ahead, Brian.
Brian, a man who I know has said the word Nipsey Hussle within the past 24 hours.
We are back to the good old days of this game because I am feeling strong and mighty. Boy, I am back. I have tasted the fountain of youth. I am up to date with pop culture. Me and the zeitgeist are simpatico. So what do you say, Bri? Who or what is Nipsey Hussle?
Man, Nipsey Hussle was great in the Goldie Hawn movie Wildcats. He kept saying, right, real slow. It was very funny. I'm talking about Nipsey Hussle.
Yes.
No, I actually know nothing
Take
about
a wild guess.
a rapper?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Does he rap?
He did.
Nope. Hold on. Don't let me stop.
I'll let you. Yeah.
Rhymes.
Yeah.
There's beats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not all of them have it. Those witch pop boys, they don't have beats.
No.
Bit controversial, though.
Why?
Why do I say that? Because I speak truth. That's why, Justin. Listen.
Because you want to be tough but fair.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you want to look me straight in the eye and explain to me why he's not controversial. How about that?
All right. Yeah, Nipsey Hussle, the rap artist, dead from a drive-by. He unfortunately was
what a comedy killer that is.
I know.
This happens every
All the
year.
funny stuff was up top.
Like in my mind, there's like 75 different directions we could go. Then I hear he's dead, and they all just collapse.
I mean,
but also Nipsey Russell's dead. So.
You think over the intervening decade, maybe we would tiptoe around some of the names.
Now, you know what? Time travel back. Tell me again. He died.
Nipsey Hussle dead as a victim of a drive-by.
Right.
Oh my God!
See, I'm doing the Nipsey Russell bit
from the Goldie Hawn movie
vehicle Wildcats. Yeah,
universally understood and recognized.
Do you remember that
Goldie
rap
Hawn
song
movie?
at the end? Do you remember?
I would prefer we not.
I mean, do you want to listen to the rap song?
No, I would not like to.
I mean, Nipsey Russell was involved with the rap music song before Nipsey Hussle. Listen to the sport of
Nipsey
kings.
Hussle was very
better
involved
than
in his
diamond
community.
rings. Football. Football.
He died in front of a strip mall that he owned. He was one of the good ones. He actually was like a huge community activist kind of guy. That was a rough one. He's one of those artists that was very successful,
Truly
but
made
also
good.
Came back, never left the neighborhood that he came from.
God damn it.
Owned this whole strip mall and everything, and yeah, unfortunately, he was gang affiliated, and ultimately that wound up.
And I'm glad you mentioned all. Bryce, look, I see you have it queued up. Don't play it. Don't play it. It would be disrespectful. Okay, the credit sequence from the movie Wildcats. Don't play it.
I would never.
Yeah, get your finger away from that trigger.
Sorry, it's slippery. I got water on the desk over here.
All right.
All right, let's do trend number 2. How about it?
What the ending theme music from Wildcats? Jesus. What a shocker.
Get that finger away. It's disrespectful, Bryce.
Sorry, Nipsey. To all the Nipseys out there. All right, number 2 in the U.S., it's Cameron Boyce.
God damn it. I fucking spoke too soon.
That's wild because I actually do know this one.
Bullshit.
Are you not? You haven't even seen. I mean, it's Canadian, but
No, I'm
look, you pinky swear to me. You're not fucking with me.
I'm not.
You legit say it out loud.
I legit have no idea who Cameron Boyce is.
All right, I just want to get that on the record. He didn't know. What is Cameron Boyce?
All right.
Wait, hold on. No, you son of a bitch.
No, I just wanted to get you to pinky
You
swear
said
that you
Canadian.
knew. Well, it's called a red herring, man.
Oh, God damn it. My expectations have been subverted. I'm going on r/free folks. Fuck Brian Brushwood. And then the link is just going to be the end theme of Wildcats.
Wildcats.
Cameron Boyce passed away in July. He was known for first appearing in a Panic at the Disco music video. He was in, he was Herman Schultz in Marvel's Spider-Man, the TV series. He had an epilepsy at the age of 20. Oh, jeez.
So he was
And he was kind of a Disney guy.
But
Grown-Ups
like
2,
the
Grown-Ups.
number 2 most searched of the year.
In the U.S., yeah.
Wow, that's extraordinary.
That Disney attention.
Wait, but I would think that. Well, I don't know. First of all, tragedy is tragedy. It's terrible.
yeah.
As always with all the death ones, the top.
Did you know
related
that one,
period-
Bryce?
I did not know him. I
Yeah.
did not know him. I'm not a Panic at the Disco person. I don't know any of that stuff.
Well, he just appeared in a music video, right? Like,
Yeah, but Panic at the Disco is the same thing where it's very fervent. Like at the time,
Would you say
teenage
it's like a
girls.
panic
At the
at
Panic
some place that people dance?
at the discotheque? That's right. All right, we're up to number 1 here, fellas. As we round it off, what do you think number 1 trend in 2019 is?
Oh, I got it.
What is it?
Yeah, no.
Did anybody else more famous die?
No, I know exactly what it is.
Because this is as sad as that one year where we had like.
Let me ask this: Is it 3 words?
No. It's not even. No, it's not 3 words.
It's not. It's Nixon Kennedy.
Oh my God.
Nixon Kennedy conspiracy.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I have no idea.
I would say I'll give a hint.
Yeah.
Brian would be more likely to get this right than Justin would.
Ooh, I like that. Just keeps. In fact, let's end the episode.
Can you text it to Brian?
Sure.
Text it to Brian. And first, I want to know whether or not you know it, honestly.
Okay.
And then you can
Yeah.
piecemeal explain it to me. Maybe we'll do like 20 questions.
Hold on. I just got it. He texted me tits Nixon Kennedy.
Did we even explain that?
That was not.
No, we have not.
that was not on stream
and I
at
don't
all.
think we should.
You could probably do the math on that pretty easily.
We'll save it.
Yeah.
Did you get it? I'm sure you got it.
I did get it, and I
But
am
do you
shocked.
get it, man?
Oh yeah. No. I think I could. Of the two of us, I feel like I could talk more about this than you.
Do you think I know
am-
it? Do you think I know it?
I know you're familiar with it, and I know you have things to say about it, and I know that I have more things to say about it because I know more about it than you do. And I'm surprised, legitimately shocked that it was the number 1 most searched thing.
Is it a person? Yes or no?
No.
Is it a video game?
No.
Is it a movie?
No.
Fuck, man. I don't know.
I'll say it's movie related. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think
I'm kind of digging this game.
This is a good game.
We can end on a 20
movie
questions. thing.
related.
Uh-huh.
It's a thing, not a person.
I think everybody you've seen today,
Yeah.
stranger or know him, knows this
Yeah. I don't think you've met a single person today that doesn't know about this thing.
about what this thing is.
Yeah. And you and I have spoken about
We've
this.
spoken about it.
A lot.
Yeah, quite a bit.
So I definitely know what it is.
You absolutely.
You definitely know what it is, but
It would be
and
very
I'm
funny if you did,
I'm trying to
actually.
give you a clue here.
Yeah.
I know a little bit more than you know about it.
Right.
Oh man. Did the movie that it is related to come out this year?
Yes.
I would say yes is an okay answer to that.
Yeah.
It's a yes with a half of an asterisk.
Did it come out in the first half of the year or the second half of the year?
Last half. Yeah.
Last half of the year, huh?
Yeah.
Is it a trailer?
There were many trailers associated with it. Yeah.
Man, it wasn't like when they had to digitally remove Kevin Spacey out of all those movies.
You know what? There is an element of that aspect of revisionist history that is a part of it. Yeah.
One element is that.
So I will say that's an element of it as well.
It's a very close no.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna say no because you meant that as a joke, but we're trying to help you by saying not as cold territory as you might think.
Yeah. Ah, crap. I'm out.
You have more questions. I'm enjoying this. This is a lot of fun.
Guess.
Because people are playing at home too. You got to play for them. Play for them. Play for them.
Let us know your time code of when you figured this out.
Okay. No.
I mean, the one thing we can't do is pause it and then come back later and resume where we were. That's the one thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, I guess we can't do that now. Sorry, you were saying.
There was a controversial thing that happened in a movie.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
By the way, that was a lot of fun. I don't know.
Very close.
Did you pick up that flex hint that I just gave, Bryce?
Yes. Okay.
That was pretty
Justin
good.
would not, I don't think, get that hint.
I know.
Yes,
I'm trying to talk around it so the folks at home can get agonizingly close to it.
Yeah, the Adam Sandler movie Rewind.
You mean Click?
Click.
Click.
It was called Rewind in my mind. My head canon.
Rewind.
That was the button that you click.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say no, I think, because I think that's not this thing.
Do you want a hint or?
Yeah, give me a hint.
Man, if I feel like it'd be better if you ask questions.
Here's a hint. You have it.
Yeah, you have it.
You have it.
Yeah, not only do you know it, you have it.
I have it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's how we know that you have it.
And how we know you know it.
You know it,
Moxie.
Yes, and the number one most searched topic on Google in 2019.
Movie related.
Very movie
related.
Was it Movie Pass?
You know what? It's
Ooh,
not.
it's
But
not
I
Movie
like
Pass.
the fact that you're saying something that's movie related. It's just not the most searced thing in all of 2019.
God, all right, I'm really
You're gonna
not
kick
enjoying
yourself.
this now. Give me a hint. Give me a hint.
But the show's getting real good right now. It's very hard. The more
You use it.
I am feeling I want to make you comfortable, but I also want to make this a good show.
I'm just gonna yell at you. I'm so under the gun.
What if I said
Okay, you're on the right track.
Okay.
With
Movie Pass is
Movie
a good
Pass, but I want you to think more. How can you add to that?
How can you
What more
supplement?
can you like? What's that plus something else you can really bring together?
how in addition
Amazon Prime?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, so
Close.
so if you
Warmer.
had Movie Pass plus Amazon Prime in addition to
Disney Plus.
yeah,
That's right. Disney Plus.
that was really painful, and I'm sorry I did
Wow.
that to you. It was just too much fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
Disney
guess
Plus.
that makes sense. You know, that was like the big thing.
I got to say plus in addition to.
Oh my God. Yeah, holy crap. That's insane. That was the number one search for thing.
You know
Yeah.
you know what I think it is? 'Cause I
What?
think I can imagine that this is why I searched for it is I wasn't sure if it was Disney and then the +sign.com or Disney plus spelled out.com. I think a lot of people use Google for like their
Clarification.
their URL finding because a lot of the
Like as
global
a spell
terms are like
checker or
that.
something.
Well,
Yeah.
I think also it was one of those things that was mentioned so much in so many different areas, but unless you were like watching Cord Killers, it was like the general public wasn't super aware that it was like when it was coming out. They
Yeah.
just knew that it was like a thing that was coming out. I bet you there were many times during the year where some befuddled parent was like, "Oh, we'll just put on The Lion King. I've been meaning to subscribe to that new Disney thing, Disney Plus. And it's like, Disney Plus will be here in 4 months.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't out of line by giving you a clue. Hopefully, I wasn't intentionally leading you astray.
I got there, so that means I win.
Right, but like the initial clue.
Asterisk.
You asterisk.
You asterisk.
You're an asterisk.
How you liking Disney Plus?
It's got The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I watch Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Yeah.
You ever seen Bed Knobs and Broomsticks?
Yeah. What's the show that we're supposed to watch to mess with everyone's heads?
Mr. Boogedy.
Mr. Boogedy. Yeah, that's
Mr. Boogedy.
Yeah, man. No, so I don't know. I dig it. I'll like it when more shows that aren't like
for kids.
Yeah.
Well, or like High School Musical, the show. Or
I mean,
that one is that Kristen Bell in the key art for that other show.
Uh-huh.
Is that her?
That is her.
Or just somebody that looks like Kristen
No, it's
Bell?
her.
No, it's her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really
Like
all I know.
Disney classics.
I know that like there's Mandalorian,
Yep.
the High School Musical show,
Yep.
A Lady in the Tramp movie that they decided to not release in theaters,
Yep.
50 Christmas movies, and
Yep.
then Kristen Bell just looking at me, smiling and saying,
Remember
"Look
the
at me."
90s?
Yeah.
Well, do you guys know what that show is on the
No,
Encore?
I don't.
So my understanding of it is that they take adults who had been in high school, like stage,
And they
show.
put them in a trendy city until they stop being fake and finally get real. And
They-
then we.
They take them back to their high school to redo those performances that they did as a kid. So if they did like Guys and Dolls, then they go. It's like a documentary type thing, I guess.
And so they do the show again.
Yeah, at least that's my understanding.
It's a smart idea for a show.
It's a neat idea. Yeah.
But yeah, that's all. I watched The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, and that's pretty much
Also,
the way
by
that
the
I
way-
interact with it.
That alone, worth it. Worth it.
Yeah, I was happy with it.
Come at us. I got an email here from somebody saying, "What's up? Why aren't you doing emails this episode?" The answer, of course, is this is a banked episode.
Banked
So,
episode, I don't know if you know it.
baby.
Let's do a little bit of diamond time. Let's see. I'm going to Reddit.
No.
No, there's nobody.
Although,
Not
nobody
even
I
submitted
will
Reddit.
say,
anything.
I will say, while people are watching this, there is the Diamond Club Streamathon that is happening. So big shout out to the Ritual Misery Boys for putting that together. And please, there's information all over the place.
Yeah. Let me see here. I believe they're donating this year to Child's Play.
Yeah.
Or
Great
Extra Life.
charity. Yep.
Which is a fantastic thing for Extra Life. That's right. They're hoping to raise another $5,000 this year. bit.ly/DCTV and then the numbers 2019 DCTV 2019.
There we go.
Hell,
Can't
yeah.
get any
So much-
easier.
Man, we did it, man. Another year.
Another year in the books.
Not today,
2020,
Satan.
baby.
That could be our slogan.
I always like it when the years are cool.
Yeah.
2020, great year, right? 2020 Vision, Mad
Yeah,
Dog
sure.
2020,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Lots of fucking.
What's wrong
Hugh
with
Downs,
2019? 19 is great. A lot of people get laid at 19.
Hugh Downs, John Stossel, 2020.
Yeah. You're bigger into 2020 than 2019.
Oh yeah, big time.
What's wrong with 2019?
It's over, bitch.
All right.
Suck it.
Hey, man, look, we love you guys. We have exciting adventures lined up in 2020. We'll share as
Great
much
year.
as we can, as fast as we can.
SF Sketchfest. Sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
go.
January 22nd.
Goddamn right.
Veronica Belmont, Anthony Carboni, Rebecca Watson joining us, and hopefully some more surprise guests as well.
Hills, yes. Love you guys.
See you next Tuesday.
Die in a fire.
So sad that I wanna drink a warm glass of Drano. Night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack. I love you.
Diamond Club, hope you've enjoyed this.